everybody, it's Dusty Sage here at MiceChat.com, and I am at the Carousel. We're going to take you on the Carousel in just a moment. That's why we were a couple of minutes late there. We were hoping to be on the Carousel. Did we make it, Suzanne?
At least it's not closed like the last time we tried to get on the Mark Twain.
That's true. So you'll be on the Carousel in just a minute, and we have all sorts of things to cover today. Some crazy guest incidents happening in the parks. We've got a little bit of news on that. We'll show you some construction. We'll talk about some tasty treats. Suzanne has a new favorite. And we'll walk through and see all the different construction going on in the park. Who knows? We may make it to both parks. We might not. In any case, I'm going to turn this around, show you what's going on here at the Carousel, and then we're going to rush onto it as soon as the gates open. So I hope you all are doing well out there, because we're doing great here. It is a beautiful day at Disneyland. I can't wait to show you. Should we turn it around?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. It is a normal, not very busy day. Usually Thursdays are busier than this. It is an Oogie Boogie Party day at Disney California Adventure, so as the evening goes on, it'll start getting a little busier here at Disneyland, but they had waits well under an hour for Rise of the Resistance today. Pirates was a 15 to 20 minute wait for much of the day. Some of the little rides have been having a longer wait. I do love the Carousel. Lillian had a favorite horse. That one is Jingles. And Walt bought this old carousel. It was a historic carousel at the time Disneyland purchased it in 1955. But they swapped out the carousel horses. They figured every child would want to ride on a white horse. So they swapped out the horses that weren't white for ones that were. So they did all the work at Imagineering. Some of the non-horse animals were swapped out as well. We have a whole article about the Carousel on MiceChat.com. Not recently, but you can find it if you do a search. Here we go. Da, 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 da. I'm going to take this horse right here. We have Suzanne here with me today. Next to Suzanne, we have Jeffrey, and next to Jeffrey is Ando. Do we have to wear our belts too?
No.
Or just for kids?
Just little kids.
So I do love the Carousel. I almost never ride it, but it's nice and shaded here. It was a little warm today, maybe 78, close to 80 degrees, but we're expecting a nice cool evening. So about the time that Oogie Boogie Party is really taking off, the temperature cools way down, and it really does feel like Halloween if you're outside at night. But during the day, we're still having those California warm days, but cool evenings, just perfect for a ghost party.
Peter Pan is closed right now.
Oh, look at that.
When we get off.
Suzanne is hoping that Peter Pan, which is closed right now, so it's having some sort of downtime. Maybe, who knows, maybe the queue will be open when we get off and there'll be a short enough line we can ride, but don't count on it. Andrew likes the Disney music that's playing on the Carousel. It wasn't that long ago that they changed the music. It used to be classic Carousel music, and then they changed it up to make it sound like calliope versions of Disney music. It's a little bit controversial at the time. course, people forget all the things that they're upset about, and everything's fine with it now. This is a very slow loader. By the time they get everyone on a horse, and then they go around and they check everybody. Oh, they had a little one decide not to ride. Very slow loader. Just painfully slow. Like, no wonder that.
And there's so many empty horses. Why did it take so long?
That whole section back there is empty. There we go. And away we go. We're off to the races. I don't know if any of you have been on a classic carousel, but many of them used to have rings along the outside perimeter of the carousel, and there would sometimes be jousting type tournaments where you could use a jousting lance to snag one of the rings from the outside of the carousel. Many of the old European style carousels were all about. Fantasyland, what a way to see it, right? And we're slowing down.
Move around by yourself or your children until the carousel comes to a full and completely stop. Once again, I need everyone to 8
Years ago, they did an extensive refurbishment of this carousel, and when they did, they made it so your horse would stop in the exact same spot that you got on, which would make it easier for parents to find kids if they were at a certain gate and then they exited on the opposite side afterwards. That solved that problem. Also made it easier for guests with disabilities to board, because now they have an ADA loading section for the carousel. And that was a problem before, to line up the access for guests with wheelchairs and other mobility issues. We're gonna wander by Peter Pan to see how long it's been down. And we'll take you on a little journey through Disney's first magic kingdom of Disneyland. It's the long hours of the day. The days are starting to get shorter and shorter. And there are people waiting for this queue to open. I don't see any of the boats moving in the queue, so that's not a good sign. So we will keep moving. Number one question cast members get when a ride goes down: when's it going to reopen? Will it reopen? How long has it been down? I could get very tired of answering those questions over and over and over again. Look at the blue skies. Look how gorgeous the sky looks. The rooftops of Toad Hall. The first week of October is the anniversary for the 50th anniversary for, gosh, or is it longer? Could be. Ichabod and Mr. Toad anniversary, maybe 75 years. That's a scary one. I've been watching it a lot this season because I've been giving ghost tours at Walt Disney's mansion in the Hollywood Hills. And since it's the anniversary of Mr. Toad, we've been playing it in Walt Disney's original screening room. So when guests get to that part of the tour, whether they're doing the daytime history tours or the nighttime scary ghost tours, we've got The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad playing on the screen, just the Ichabod part. Everyone needs a little more headless horseman in their diet. That's the quickest way to lose weight, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Off with their head.
Uh-oh.
Queen of Hearts was onto something. No need for Ozempic.
One place that I'm not going to lose weight at is over here at Red Rose Tavern.
Okay, we're gonna stop here for just a moment because Suzanne has been dying to tell you all about her new favorite treat, which is here at Red Rose Tavern, and we'll get into the shade. This used to be Village House. They said they were just doing a temporary event for, you know, the Beauty and the Beast. They turned it into Red Rose Tavern and just never switched back. Now
Lazy, maybe?
I don't know. I think it's permanent now. But tell us, what's your favorite treat here?
So, because it's Beauty and the Beast theme, they had the gray stuff.
It's delicious.
Which to me, it was not delicious.
No?
So I was suspicious about the Halloween time treat.
The gray stuff's so suspicious?
No, it's called Enchanted Pumpkin thing.
For
No,
Halloween.
Enchanted Pumpkin stuff. Because like the gray stuff.
Enchanted pumpkin stuff right now.
Yes.
You did not like the gray stuff.
I do not
It's
like the gray
suspicious.
stuff here.
But the pumpkin stuff is
Amazing.
delicious.
Yes.
I love
It's
it.
pumpkin mousse with pumpkin cake and then apricot marmalade on top.
Ooh.
It's really good.
Oh, you got me with the apricot marmalade. That sounds
And a
interesting.
nice chocolate thing on top.
Really?
Yes. No, sprinkles.
I was trying to tap his screen to make it focus. It doesn't work that way.
It is delicious though.
Okay, you've sold me. I don't do dairy, but if I order it late enough and then just run, who knows, maybe I can try a little bit. I have walked this entire resort today. I started in DCA. Temperature was very hot. There's very little shade there. I shouldn't have started there. I should have started somewhere shadier in the hotter part of the day. I wasn't thinking, but I did the full loop through Paradise Pier, or now Pixar Pier. I did the Cars Land and Adventures Campus. I even had the taco at Kim Test Kitchen.
Humongous taco.
The humongous, which is essentially a taco salad. One of those big cup-like shells like they do at Zocalo. It's very good. You can order it, you know, special, even in the app. So I have them hold the cheese and hold the sauce that I thought might have dairy in it. And I ended up with a very tasty treat. Now, we don't need to go into Galaxy's Edge for anything. In a recent update, Children's Hospital or Make-A-Wish?
No, Make-A-Wish.
For Make-A-Wish, where they had several days of activities in Galaxy's Edge, and they created a storyline with special shows and stunts and all kinds of things in Galaxy's Edge, and culminated on that last night with an epic lightsaber battle, which I thought was amazing. And they should be doing all the time in Galaxy's Edge, but we're not going to take you in there to do it again. So we're taking this little bypass, and I do love these sweeping rocks here that provide a little shade. So the hot part of the day, these rocks protect you. Rain, they protect you. Very nice design. Like a riverbed swept by water, etched out by water over the eons. I keep seeing diamonds in the sky. It's just bubbles.
I don't see any bubbles.
Some of them,
Must be your eyes.
some of them are caught in the trees, and see the bubbles in the
I do
trees?
see that. They're pretty with the light hitting them.
They are.
And the pine,
One of the most beautiful places in all of Disneyland is where we are now. Galaxy's Edge down on your right. Then there's this little lagoon that used to be part of the mine train through Nature's Wonderland. And then on the left over here is gorgeous Big Thunder Mountain, an early Tony Baxter epic attraction that remains one of the most popular attractions Disney has ever built, and they built them all over the world, slightly different versions. Let's see if we see any fish jumping today.
Oh look, one of the crawfish came over to this side.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in. We're having a crawfish palooza.
Last week we just saw them on the other side.
There he is.
There were turtles on this side. But yeah,
That's
one made it over here.
in the center of the screen there, that brown thing
It's
moving around
It's coming to join the line.
is a crawfish. Now, if they've been dumping nuclear waste into this lagoon, then there's almost a certainty that that crawfish will become gigantic and then eventually battle Godzilla.
No, I think they're
there's
getting
another
it,
one.
They're getting it ready to be available on us.
In the etouffee.
Go eat him?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat him.
Get it.
You wanna share him with me? That's good eating. There are ducks and turtles and crawfish and little mosquito fish in these waters. They call this the dark water system because it runs from the motorboat cruise dock through the castle area and through Adventureland into the rivers of America. A little bit of it runs over here. And it's essentially unfiltered water. It's safe for wildlife to consume or live in. For years, they had giant koi in the waterways. Remember that?
I don't remember koi in the park.
They had a nice grouping of yellow koi in that particular lagoon. Used to love that, just to watch the school swim around. And they'd like to stay together. Here's a wall up over here for something. Huh. Did you see that? Just a little outcropping there. I wonder if they're going to carve out something for ODV.
Mike was going to be creating that they're going to have a themed water fill.
Could be. And that would be welcome. Themed water fill stations are very welcome. Not enough of them in the park. There's a new themed one at the Fantasyland bathrooms along the parade route. Plaid taking a group of guests up to this little seating area. A bunch of tables up there, Suzanne. It's nice. They have spots where you can sit and eat your snacks from this little cart. How does the wait look for Big Thunder?
40 minutes.
So waits are going up. Earlier it was about 20 minutes, now it's 40. So as people leave DCA for Oogie Boogie Bash, coming over here, so the waits are getting longer at Disneyland. Just the way it works this time of year. And I know many people miss having the Halloween parties at Disneyland, but the main reason they moved them was because the guests who were not going to the Halloween parties at Disneyland were always very, very upset that Disneyland was closing early for Halloween parties. So they moved the Halloween parties over to DCA, where no one cares if the lines are long or if the park closes early.
Also, we missed getting Halloween Screams for free when the parties were here at Disneyland.
That's true. Yeah, Halloween Screams was a Halloween party exclusive there for a while, and now we get it for free on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays when the weather cooperates.
I have some other good food over there at K Store Cafe.
What did you have?
French fries with turkey gravy and mozzarella cheese over it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're gonna have to back that up. French fries with mozzarella cheese and gravy.
Yes.
Did they call it poutine?
No.
Wow.
French fries with turkey gravy and mozzarella.
That sounds amazing.
It was really good. No,
Huh.
real mozzarella cheese.
And
Not
is
even,
it
like,
a big portion
stuff.
served as like an entree, or is it?
It was too much for one person to eat.
Wow.
I'll take that challenge.
Yeah,
Hold on, Connor, come here.
the lines are definitely getting longer. Pirates had a much shorter line earlier today. Now it's starting to back up into New Orleans Square a little bit. It's a clog of people here. There was definitely not around 3:30 today. This was a very short line and there was no clogging of guests. But we need to walk through this clog because they were testing Tiana's Bayou Adventures today with cast members in the boats. I suspect they were Imagineers. And then we'll check out the gigantic new shop at the exit of Haunted Mansion. We'll go out. We're going to double back a little bit. We're going to head out through Adventureland. Look at the strange construction walls near Tomorrowland that are not what we all hope they are. Are we being chased by this ship? I swear, Jeffrey, just a moment ago, it was way back over there. It's definitely chasing us. This is just a pet peeve of mine, but one of the most beautiful spots, tranquil spots in the park, is the river's edge. But you can't get to the river's edge because the entire length of the river is stroller and ECV parking. I was with a legendary Imagineer a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the explosion of the number of strollers in the park, and he had words. He said the park was not built for babies. In fact, it's not even built for toddlers. Very few things that toddlers and babies can even do at Disneyland. They just never expected there would be a proliferation of strollers. The park's not built for it, so it wasn't built with places to park them. It wasn't busy enough today for them to run Columbia. It's a weekday and we'll generally see Columbia running on Fridays and Saturdays and sometimes on Sundays. Now I'm going to walk right past the mansion and not even show it to you because we're going to see that second. Are they still serving my delicious cookies here?
They are. They've been waiting for you.
I wonder if they're doing a special Halloween dipping sauce for them. A pumpkin one, perhaps.
I still haven't tried that dipping sauce.
It's pretty good. All right, here we are. And it appears that they may have stopped. Yeah, I don't see water. We're gonna look down in the flume and see if it's empty. But I do have photos and videos I took earlier today, so they'll be in the Monday update. Yep, the flume has been drained.
Well, that was quick.
Very quick. So the water is out of the flume. But earlier today, we saw Imagineers riding in the flumes, and we could hear as loud as day Tiana's voice and Lewis coming from the hole at the top of the mountain.
I will not touch that.
With a 10-foot pole. No. But we covered this a lot, and there'll be a lot more on Monday morning about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But our next stop is right there. So look at the size of this mountain. Look at the size of that mansion. And there's a gigantic shop going in. It looks much larger than the concept art, which is right there for us to see. So this will be the new carriage house inspired shop at the exit of the Haunted Mansion. It will be filled with mansion merchandise, very popular at all times of year. Here is what the concept art looks like. It's just the scale that they've drawn the house, but look, the mansion looks so gigantic and the carriage house looks low, but it's really much taller looking than in the concept art. I think it'll probably be fine. A lot of people are also talking about the pinch point that shop is going to create. I don't think that's going to be a problem. The mansion is open right now. You see people leaving. There's where the gift shop is, so you'll be able to go directly into the shop after exiting the crypt there. And even with the construction walls, traffic is moving. I think once the walls come down, it'll be mostly okay. The problem will be is if people start lining up in front of the shop into the walkway. That would definitely be a problem. And they can't line up on this side of the shop because that's the exit to the attraction. That would be a problem. So we'll have to wait and see how they handle the demand for the new shop. The mansion itself, because there isn't room to queue people, is using a virtual queue, and they just very strictly control the number of people that they send to the mansion for their queue appointment. In your app, it tells you which groups they're calling, and that's how you know when to go. And if it's a time like this where the walkways are getting very busy, they just send fewer people. The goal is to not have to use them though, because they're not as efficient as Lightning Lane. Jack Skellington did not make his way to the archway this year. Instead, there are these creepy eyes. Suzanne, could you take a picture of that for me? I tried to get one earlier and the awning was in my way, but now you can really see those two little eyes there. I like them. They look like spectacles. You see that there? But Jack used to be over where that tiny little pumpkin snowman is over there. There used to be a huge Jack Skellington. And I'm sure it's just because of construction they didn't put him up this year. Possible, maybe it was damaged.
Lots of people want to go on this ride, you know?
Kitty, how are you?
Man, I see your stuff everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Well, I see your stuff everywhere. Bye-bye, thank you. And this is the rest of the construction area. It's on this side of the mansion where they're building the new Kew Garden, an expansion of seating for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And there's something missing from this image, but there will be a covered awning here. This is where guests with disabilities will go and enter an elevator that is in the fog there. You do sort of see something that has been somewhat obscured here in the back. This is a mausoleum, and that mausoleum has been built. So on Monday morning, I'll have photos from the top of the Mark Twain for you to see. Essentially, there is a gigantic, oversized mausoleum back there. It will be somewhat obscured by the covered walkway there in front of it, so you won't notice it so much when you're in the queue or in front of the mansion, but you will see it from the river. So if you're on the Mark Twain, you'll see just how big that new mausoleum is. Necessary because it's an elevator and needs a big lift there. And this is the side just to the left of the new Kew Garden where Tiana's Palace will have some additional seating, and this is your entryway also to the train station. There, they've opened up the side of the pergola for the bandstand. You know, this area used to have Magnolia Garden. In the center of Magnolia Garden, there was a fountain, but originally, when they built this area, there was a bandstand in the center of it. That bandstand was originally built for Main Street USA in Town Square. So it moved around, but Main Street USA did have a bandstand at one point. So did Magnolia Gardens. Eventually, Magnolia Gardens got a fountain instead. The bandstand is now at Rogers Gardens in Newport Beach. So you can go to a garden center, and in the area where you'd buy plants and roses and things, they have the original bandstand from Disneyland. Disney history everywhere. The park has gotten rid of a lot of things over the years, and they've ended up in the backyards of a lot of people with a lot of money. John Stamos has part of the original Disneyland sign. Not even the original one of the early ones, though.
And the koi from the Disneyland Hotel went somewhere.
They did. They're at the Huntington Gardens in the new Chinese Lagoon and Gardens. So when the Disneyland Hotel got rid of its fountains, remember they had those big waterfalls and they had koi. Some of those koi made their way to the park. The rest of the koi went to Huntington Gardens, and eventually all of the koi went to Huntington Gardens. Just too hard to keep them. I think their water's safe here in an active theme park with all the things that can go wrong. But they tried to distribute those koi around for a while there before they just decided to give them all away. Do they have a special holiday fritter?
The pumpkin one?
They do have the pumpkin fritter?
Yes.
That's very good. Memory serves. I like the fritter better than the beignet because the fritters are crispy on the outside and kind of cakey on the inside. The beignets, sadly, the old crunchy exterior beignets that they used to make years ago are now just Mickey shaped donuts. Not my favorite. I do like the ones at Brennan's. I don't like Brennan's, but I like their beignets. Pirates still has Lightning Lane. Mansion is on virtual queue, and of course Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not open. Proof will be in the pudding. When those two attractions open, will they be willing to give Pirates back to a standby audience, or will they keep Lightning Lane? We're waiting and we're watching. Much more crowded here in Adventureland now. Again, the Oogie Boogie effect. Like India's down. And right here, this is the little man of Disneyland. There's this little door, a little stovepipe. And look, there's a little pumpkin in his garden. Did you see that? The little pumpkin?
She said wait 5 to 10 minutes and they'll give you.
And Jungle Cruise has begun its big refurbishment, closed for a while now, to restore the scene that the Tiger was in. That scene had suffered not a fatal collapse, but a catastrophic collapse of the set. No one was injured, but it did happen while guests were in the park. If one of you can get a good shot of this for me as well, I'd appreciate it. You're listening to the magic being made. We're shooting a Monday update and doing the live simultaneously. Get to do some special things. Last week I was not with you. Suzanne and Mike were. Here they come, the Fab Three. They're
The Jungle Cruise skippers were frozen.
Where are they? I love the Jungle Cruise skippers. They have so much character. I think if eventually we end up losing the Tiki Room due to cultural sensitivity type issues, how cool would it be for them to keep some animatronic animals and things in there, but turn it into a skipper's canteen type of establishment? Looking at construction walls here endlessly because they are not fixing the problems there. Stand back. Oh, Mystic Powers, hear my call. I always look at the shields because they're constantly being replaced, and I don't think I've ever noticed that monkey's
That one
face.
looks like a monkey.
Yeah, doesn't that feel new to you?
It seems different.
Yeah. You never know what you're gonna see. Imagineers come in at night and they fix things and replace things, and most of us just walk right by. And half the time I'll look at something and think, oh, that's new, and then it's not. It just feels new. Maybe it was repairing it. Take a circuitous route here to get to where we're going, just so we can enjoy the view. Frontierland over there. Looks like. Yeah, Ando's got the name right. Instead of Skipper's Canteen like it is at Walt Disney World, just call it Skipper's Hideaway. Perfect. And they could still do some of the songs from the Tiki Room show in there while you're dining. Maybe expand the room to take over what is currently the Tropical Hideaway as well and enclose that. So there's more seating.
We're being the most popular character.
Sorry, that rubbed me every kind of wrong way. Suzanne and I sought refuge from the sun earlier there at the Princess Fantasy Fair. We sat in the big tent there. There were no shows happening. It was all I needed. There was a bench, there was some shade, I was fine. You can tell it's not terribly busy because there aren't 100 people waiting to have their photo taken. On a very busy day, there are lines of people lined up down the street here just waiting to have a PhotoPass person take their photo. There aren't even PhotoPass people out right now. I don't see them.
Oh no, there's some.
You do see some? Oh, there they are. They're in the corner. And this is the construction wall of Endless Green. The entirety of Tinkerbell and Friends meet and greet area is surrounded by green construction walls. Now this is the area where they used to have Monsanto's House of the Future. It was eventually removed. Everybody's heard the stories about the wrecking ball bouncing off the house and them needing to take hacksaws to remove it. Eventually it became the Grotto of the Little Mermaid, and there was a Prince Triton or a King Triton statue, water feature, bubbles, a giant clamshell that would turn around, and there would be the fish lady herself. And then that was replaced before they built California Adventure, I think, with, they moved Little Mermaid over there, and this became, oh, their evil stepsisters are out. See if we can get to them. As soon as they start causing a clog in the arteries, they are generally asked to move along by operations team, but you can see them out here.
I must be away.
There she goes. There's her mother.
Wait, let's get around.
It's like we're seeing the Kardashians, folks. Look at the commotion.
I want to go
And here's that wall. So you're looking at Tinkerbell and her fairy friends area. Zooming out as far as I can. We're going to follow this wall all the way around. So it goes from essentially across from Matterhorn all the way down. Now, many people have been speculating online, depending on which blogs and people you're reading, and they immediately jumped to the conclusion that they were finally doing the Tomorrowland project and the new garden and all of that. That's not what's happening. They're just doing a refurbishment on the Tinkerbell meet and greet area, and it just takes up all of those walkways and needs to be covered up. And the little construction fence that was hiding the control panel for Astro Orbiter that has had the concept art on it forever is still covered up. And no work is being done behind there. So we're still walking, still construction walls. So the green walls of never-endingness are still there. This is what supposedly is coming. It has been that way for 4 or 5 years now, so who knows if it will ever happen. But the raised circular things on either side, one of them is to hide the equipment that is directly behind this wall, which is for Astro Orbiter. That's why it can't go away, so to hide it, they were going to build those circular things. There'd be a little hidden door on the back side of the one on the left. The one on the right is just there to match the other one, to look purpose-built. They did do the planting of the gardens here, but they never built the raised structures and those little things. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, they probably don't know what they're going to do with the new Tomorrowland yet. Why rebuild the entryway if it doesn't end up matching the new version of Tomorrowland? So I think it's just in a holding pattern. They obviously decided to build an Avatar Land and a Coco ride and two new attractions in Avengers Campus. And Disneyland is only getting a new ride film for Millennium Falcon and turning Walt Disney into an animatronic. That's it. They didn't announce a big project for Disneyland. No new Tomorrowland. They wanted to. They were hoping to. But they decided to give all the big budget to Florida, which is turning its Rivers of America into a Cars Land. Things like that that they don't need to do. Give us the budget for the Cars Land that nobody asked for, and give us a Tomorrowland. Suzanne, can I hear an amen?
Amen.
New Tomorrowland? Yes. There's some big reasons why Florida needs more money. They're competing against Epic Universe, and Florida was not ready to announce a 5th park. Instead, they're doing all these giant expansion projects for their existing parks. We're gonna look at the wait times here really fast. I mean, 25 minutes for that Astro Orbiter we were just looking at. 50
Peter
minutes.
Pan is still down.
Good thing we didn't wait for it. Rise of the Resistance is now 1 hour and 5 minutes. Matterhorn 30 minutes. Millennium Falcon 35.
Wow, more manageable today than on Tuesday.
Space Mountain's only 45 minutes, 15 minutes for Star Tours. So busier than earlier today, but not terrible. There's some little bits of news that we wanted to discuss before the end of this video. First, you know, you can get on the monorail again, and for whatever reason, for years now, they have not allowed people to ride in the front cabin. I think that happened after the incident at Walt Disney World where 2 trains collided and killed somebody that was in the front cabin of one of the monorails. And Disneyland was impacted by that operationally, but we're now allowed to have guests in the front cone again of the monorail. You did that the other day, I think, with Mike.
I hadn't gotten here yet, so I have not gotten to do it yet.
But Mike did it.
Yeah.
And I think he posted a video in yesterday's last week's. You go to the Mice Chat YouTube, youtube.com/MiceChat, click on Shorts, and you'll find the monorail video. The other thing, there was some wild stories about a guest who was kicking and screaming and handcuffed and dragged out of California Adventure. with her 2 kids following along crying. You heard about that story, yes? You heard about the story?
Yep, saw videos on Fantasyland.
You saw videos, and she was cursing, and it was amazing.
The kids she was trying to pass off as 2-year-olds.
Yes. So at first, you know, because the internet does what the internet does, and everybody jumped to the conclusion that she must have been drunk. And we don't know, she may have been. But they were jumping to the conclusion that because they sell alcohol at California Adventure, she must have been drunk, and that's why they threw her out. Well, it turns out that she was a habitual line skipper, a person breaking into the parks, and she wasn't paying for her kids that she claimed were 2-year-olds that were not. So security followed them after the front gate agent let them in, fell for whatever scam to get them through the gate as 2-year-olds. And then security followed them and saw that these kids were not only not 2-year-olds, but they were riding rides and things. And then she became abusive, and then they escorted her out of the park. They're not filing charges. They should. But one thing's for sure, as long as there are guests in this world, there will be weird guest things that happen. The most popular thing in the park right now, the giant Mickey pumpkin on Main Street. Long lines of people waiting to have their photo taken. We'll take a look at this train station construction. The other big project going on right now is the refurbishment of the entire train system. So all of the stations are getting refurbishment work. Parts of the track have been replaced. It's very impressive, the scale of this particular refurbishment. A lot deeper refurbishment than they've done in a few years. But every year the train gets at least some refurbishment. It's quite the old network. Some old trains on the track, they all need refurbishment from time to time as well. So they're able to take the train down to accommodate work on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and at the same time fix up things like this rundown train station you see in front of you. Last year at Candlelight, I remember just sitting there and looking at an entire burned out strand of lights that was also hanging, and they had the heralders up there and they're playing their trumpets, and I'm looking at the burned out lights next to them. It was very bothersome, and then it stayed that way for most of the year. So I'm glad to see that it's getting all the way down to the stairs here. They're not even leaving the stairs open for people to sit on during cavalcades. I was going to say during the parade, but there's
No parade.
What's your favorite parade?
I do love Magic Happens.
You hope it comes back?
I do hope it comes back.
Do you have a favorite parade?
Block Party Bash.
For real?
Yeah.
You like Block Party Bash? Because they shot water out at you?
No, bouncy balls.
Bouncy balls.
And trampolines.
Do you have a favorite parade?
I don't know. I've only seen a couple of them.
You've only seen a couple?
I think Electric Parade is the best.
Electric Parade.
Yeah, I think that's the best one I like.
Yeah. I really want, what's the one that replaced the Electric Parade?
Oh, Paint the Night.
Paint the Night. That was, I think, the one that I really want to have return.
I didn't like that one that shot water at people.
I didn't either. They had one in Tokyo for a while that shot a lot of water out at people. Like fountains of water out at people. We're taking you one more stop here at Disneyland. Suzanne's eagle eye spotted something. So it's Halloween time, so lots of the villains out. We saw the evil stepsisters, and their mother here, of course, is Cruella de Vil, and she's signing somebody's water bottle for them. What a clever idea.
Evelyn, wait, come on, wait.
I love Cruella de Vil. I was blessed in my life to know both Mark and Alice Davis while they were alive. And Mark had an affinity for Cruella de Vil as well. And Alice always told me that it was inspired by an actual Hollywood star, and that Mark never wanted her name to be revealed because he didn't want to embarrass her, but that she was a horrible woman And Alice said that one day when she was sure the woman was dead, she'd tell me who it was. She never did. And now Alice is gone. But I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows. They've recently mulched the hill. You can tell, you can smell it. Backside of the train station looks particularly fetching with the light on it. I do love these printed scrims. But we're coming here because Suzanne noticed that Mickey's mask changed. Last week, it was an orange mask, I think. Did we lose Suzanne? No, she's there. And now his mask is yellow. So early in the week, it was orange, and then suddenly it turned yellow. Make it blue, make it yellow. But it's nice that they're constantly replanting things, and they're using leaves now instead of flowers. They do have the white alyssum kind of around the outside and for his eyes, but the rest are these like leaves, yellow for his mask and the purple leaves for his ears and face and nose. And I think that works because the temperatures are starting to get cool at night.
Maybe the abominable snowman from Monsters Inc. came over here.
The abdominal snowman.
The yellow, the trust me, is yellow.
Where do we exit? Who's got eyes? Can we exit over here?
Left here.
I think this one's open too. I'm gonna go this way. See that Mickey again from here. Walt Disney's birthday is on December 5th, and this year's candlelight will be the weekend following Walt's birthday. Candlelight always happens on or just before or after whichever weekend the park deems is closest. All of this construction work in front of the parks is to move the planters back. So you remember that there were certain gates that the planters were so close to these buildings that sometimes the lines would have to merge. And so if you got in the wrong line, you were waiting forever. And if you got in just the right line, it would split there beyond the planter and be twice as fast. But the planters are all being moved back. And that's what all of this is for. Some of the trees have been chopped down and they're being replaced. So new trees as well in this project. There'll be big trees. You'll have a hard time knowing that they're not the original trees, but those trees are being chopped at the trunk, so definitely not the same trees coming back.
Like really bad.
We're not taking you into California Adventure. They're getting ready for Oogie Boogie Bash. But we are going to take a quick sojourn into downtown Disney because so much work is going on. So I'm going to do this quicker, Suzanne. So are you ready for your workout?
All right, let's do it.
All right. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2.
We could skip all the way down.
I can't do that, but you can do it. And you're famous for your skipping. The other day I asked you to skip, and you did. And then people didn't stop commenting about it. Have Suzanne skip more often. We doubled the viewership just from having you skip. Who knew that was the secret sauce?
I can skip over all these dangerous boxes.
So weird. So there are boxes there, and those boxes are built to put a trash can on top of them. Everywhere you see a trash can with a box, there was a light fixture. So this is what the light fixtures look like. They're those tall green leaves with the single pearl-shaped light on top. And when they remove them to do the work, they replace them with a trash can and a box. Trash cans are supposed to go on the box, but for some reason, they're next to the box. So I'm sure people will be tripping over these low green boxes that blend in.
Because it covers it, depending on which way you're walking.
So
But
weird.
It could be a new song. Instead of suitcase and a dream, trash can and a box.
Trash can and a box. I got a trash can and a box. Like that?
Yeah.
Trash can and a box. I miss that show. And now that the red cars may be going away forever at California Adventure, no newsboys.
Oh no, you know they should put the red car trolley, have it be stationary somewhere.
They
Can
should.
do the show all the time.
They should. They'd have to put it somewhere that won't also block the parade route. So they'd have to do it either at the front part of the park, going to Vista Street, But if they put it in that Carthay Circle fountain area, parade goes through there. I guess they can put it on the side the parade doesn't go. Because it just kind of skirts that corner by Carthay Circle, I think. Or does it go the long way around? I can't remember.
Behind this gate.
Just a hidden red car. You can get a virtual queue to go see and have the newsboys sing at you for 5 seconds.
Judge Doom is.
Gosh. Sorry, somebody incessantly trying to call me and I keep ending the call. They keep calling me right back again and it's disrupting the video, so hopefully I didn't lose you all. There's a little Pluto hiding up there in the corner of Disney.
Part of the Pluto's pumpkin pursuit.
Yep. And that security camera looks like an eyeball. Yes. I used to love the decorations on the first version of World of Disney Store. They had those big airship-like things with all the weird contraptions. We're shooting into the sun. It's very dramatic, but I'm gonna try to find shade so that you all aren't blinded. I hate blinding our viewers. I mean, you're gonna lose a viewer now and then. One or two are gonna be blinded.
It kind of looked like we were walking into the next world with that lighting.
Oh my goodness. So dark, Suzanne. Halloween everywhere in the store, soon to be replaced by Christmas, because by the time the actual Halloween season arrives, which is October, Disney gives up on Halloween. They start trying to promote the next season. So by the time Halloween arrives, Disney will be doing Christmas.
Some new Christmas t-shirts found up. You can see them on my site.
We're gonna backtrack so I don't ruin their photos. MiceMerch.com redirects you to Mice Chat's merchandise coverage from Natalie Kipper, and she's been covering all of the latest from the parks and the Disney stores online. And please, may the Disney stores return in physical form.
I thought they would have been back by now.
I think they will be coming back. I definitely think we're gonna have some new Disney stores. Now that Bob Chapek has been dead and buried, some good things can happen, like the restoration of the Disney stores. I was in Times Square last week and they still have a Disney store, but it's not the original type Disney store. It's run by the parks. So it's a World of Disney essentially. But it's great. It's a multi-story Disney shop in Times Square, very popular, and they should have them. Every city should have a big Disney store. Yeah, that's a Lilo and a Stitch pumpkin up there.
I like that they paired them.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's not just one or the other.
Overtime, but we started a little bit late and just going to take you as far as the last project at the other end of Downtown Disney, and then we'll end. So maybe another 8 minutes or so, folks, if you hang in there with us. This is the former Marceline's. On the end was the dress shop. So dress shop here. And then over there towards the end of the construction wall was Marceline's Confectionery, which I had been for years saying, please put it out of our misery and really give us a pastry shop or a sweet to be a giant store. But I'm not fond of the name. Instead of giving it some cute Disney name, they're just calling it The Wonderful World of Sweets.
I mean, they might as well have just called it Sweet Shop to go with a dress shop.
What's the name of the character from Wreck-It Ralph? Was it Penelope?
Vanellope.
Vanellope Von Schweetz. And she'd have been a good, and it looks like the inside of it is going to be very whimsical. So I'm holding out hope that it's going to be great. Walt Disney World does wonderful things with sweets and pastries and popcorns that you can mix things into, and they just have a greater variety of sweets than we have. So I'm very, very hopeful that this will turn out well. It's an artist conception only, Suzanne. So your guests may not actually be smiling as they come and go from the shop. I don't know. Something sweet is unwrapping soon. A sweet surprise is just around the corner. I'm excited for it.
I hope they're selling different stuff than you find in the park.
Yeah, they'll have to. Otherwise, none of that expensive rebuilding will have been worth it. Over there at Black Tap, are they doing special treats and things for Hispanic Heritage Month? Yeah. If you see these signs around, celebrating Hispanic Latin American Heritage Month, September 15th through October 15th, that means they've got special items. And there are quite a few fun things in the parks and in the shops in downtown Disney. So definitely check it out. And we're gonna see a food truck down here inspired by it as well. Look, look, look. I love Pop. Love Pop does pop-up cards, and they have fun stuff right now. They have a pop-up Christmas tree, a pop-up arrangement, pop-up cards. Jack Skellington. Really clever. I
But
wish
you know, they used to
he-
change that wall all the time. They've had that butterfly for at least a year now.
Well, you can't win them all. The plastic Mickey pumpkins are still around. I'm shocked. You know, every year since they've started offering them, those pumpkins would sell out instantly and then you couldn't get one. Now all the stores are filled with them, so they pumpkin, a small one, and a Stitch pumpkin.
And they have a limit, I think. You can only buy 2.
I saw that.
This used to be the Wonderground, and now it is the dress shop, which is becoming the wonderful world of sweets. And there are dresses again. There's this dress that looks a little bit like Wednesday Addams meets the Haunted Mansion. Kind of cute. And this jacket. I love this. Oh, it's really nice. That's a great jacket. I like the shirt underneath it. I wouldn't pair them together, I don't think, but I love that. That is fantastic. I know where I'm gonna have that jacket tonight. All right. We have miles to go before we sleep. We have to keep these people moving before they all fall asleep in the middle of our video. Lots of ghosts and things in the gardens. These used to be on the tram route during Halloween. This year they're here in downtown Disney. I love them. Very similar to ghosts that you would find at Disneyland Paris over the years. They would do whimsical things like this in the park. Walt Disney World has a few pumpkin people in their park. Hello. And of course, the old Tortilla Joe's is in the process of becoming a new steakhouse and a barbecue restaurant. Yeah, they, I don't know. There used to be, I know every time I walk by here, I'm like, something's missing. Well, there used to be a fountain right here, and they replaced it with pavement, but look, you wouldn't really know. They did a pretty good job removing it. They were in such a hurry to get rid of it. I thought for sure it was so that they could build a little bit of seating for the poor people that go to Tiendita, but no. There's a clever pumpkin right there. It's a Tiana pumpkin here under the Jazz Kitchen sign.
Yeah, that's the Monorail.
See it there? And I know where one more pumpkin is.
The one with the sandwich?
Yes.
That's my favorite one.
Sandwich pumpkin.
Yes. That's the new Earl.
I am a sucker for balloons. I always have been.
Which one would you get?
I would get the Jack Skellington with that right there, Jack and Sally on the hill that unrolls itself. Oh, the one with the ghosts and Donald, that's cute. I'd pick one of those. Being attacked by balloons.
I like that one.
Oh, the Madame Leota one, yeah. The Haunted Mansion on one side, Madame Leota on the other. And then the little cute characters, that's
Yeah,
also
the
great.
cutesy characters.
I like
that.
I like a cutesy character. Lego's gonna have to do something about these sculptures soon. They're wonderful, but they're starting to get faded and dirty, and they're gonna need some either restoration or replacement. But this store is original to Downtown Disney. I think it's the only original store left in Downtown Disney.
That's crazy.
World of Disney was redone. All of the restaurants have now been redone. Marceline's redone. ESPN closed. Rainforest gone. All right, this is construction on the new restaurants at the far end of Downtown Disney. There'll be a bar on the upper level up here. Get back to where you can see they're starting to put the walls up, it's being framed up. Now this is going in quickly. There's a bar on the top level. Downstairs there will be a coffee shop. There will be food windows for Asian food and Mexican food and all kinds of neat things. Over here next to it, just some displays for Hispanic Heritage Month. And of course, characters from Encanto. More of that building behind us there under construction. And then on the far side, some shops going in. Those are not behind scrims, so we can see what the facade looks like. The stage has been decorated over here for Hispanic Heritage Month as well. So there's going to be music this evening or this weekend. But there's a shop coming in over here called the Disneylander. And Disneylander will be Disneyland inspired merchandise. Next to it will be a shop inspired by the Avengers. And there will also be a small storefront for a Bath and Body shop called Nectar. That one hasn't been announced, but I know it's coming. A lot of my money goes to this new restaurant. I am an absolute sucker for a soup dumpling. Din Tai Fung. Fantastic food, great restaurant, great service. Absolutely adore it. Expensive. I need to write more articles to keep me in soup dumplings. Something eventually has to happen with these two buildings. The Star Wars Trading Post, the old Rainforest, they're only using a tiny piece of that store. The gigantic ESPN Zone building. These are expansion pads for when Third Park gets built, whenever that happens, so many, many, many years away. I do suspect Disneyland will put some shops in, at least temporarily. Pupusa truck in honor of Latin Heritage Month, and you can find all sorts of fun things here. It looks really good. And then finally, the Earl of Sandwich's food truck opened. They installed it just after the first of the year and finally opened it. There's just a couple of tables to sit over here. It doesn't get that busy because it's hidden. Why they would tuck them in an area where so few guests walk, I don't know. But up there is a goofy pumpkin and he's eating a sandwich. Let's hope that's a delicious sandwich. They have breakfast sandwiches here as well, hot sandwiches. This is good in a pinch. I will sometimes grab a sandwich from here on my long drive home. This weekend, I will be at the Disney Mansion in the Hollywood Hills. There I am, with my mustache curled up. I'll be wearing my Sinister Mansion-inspired suit jacket, and by day, I'm doing history tours. It's just Walt Disney history, not intended to be scary. By night, they are scary ghost stories told by candlelight. So if you'd like to know more about the history and mystery of Walt Disney's castle in Los Feliz, check it out at Haunted OC. They're the company selling the tours. So check out hauntedoc.com, and then you'll see Disney Mansion. And those are my tours, all of them. So schedule yourself for a tour this weekend or sometime between now and Halloween. I hope to see you up there. Beautiful Woking Way. It is absolutely stunning at the top of the hills. Gorgeous views. It is a spectacular time of year to be up there, and I hope to see you all. So with that, our tour is coming to an end. Back there somewhere is Jeffrey and Ando. Suzanne is somewhere. Oh, there she is. Look, Suzanne, get over my shoulder. That's my Suzanne. And Jeff, look, there they are, all my little babies. Ah, I'm a happy man. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.